In a year full of sequels that reinvented their games for a new audience, for better or worse, only a couple games this year have actually taken everything good about its predecessor and improved on it in every conceivable way. Making this even harder, though, is having to follow up on not one, but two excellent titles that came out recently. Luckily, Insomniac Games is more than ready for that challenge, blowing those expectations out of the water. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is a near-perfect sequel. Kinetic, tight-knit combat, intelligent and engaging mission design, and perhaps the most fun traversal system to ever grace gaming. All of this culminates in a gameplay that feels as incredible as it looks. Add to that a well-written and deeply enjoyable story that is full of heart, which follows Peter and Miles taking on themes like redemption, forgiveness, rehabilitation, and even the very nature of second chances. I loved the darker tone here, but I love even more that ultimately Spider-Man's traditional optimism and belief that every one of us is capable of good was able to shine through.
I know, but you gotta see this.
If you want to see just how much the design of this series has scaled up, you can look no further than the opening set piece with Sandman. Peter and Miles swing into action. There's a massive sandy guy. You can see him. He's not, he's pretty big, hard to miss. A lot of sand in the air, a lot of particles. He's doing his best rendition of the Rude Sandstorm for New York. This fight is gigantic. You're swinging back and forth, diving in and out of skyscrapers, taking on little sandy boys, solving little puzzles, throwing stuff in Sandman's face. It all comes together to form these excellent moments. And I don't want to give too much away here, but those moments will make you scream and giggle like a little nerd.
You okay? I'm working on it.
Most of all, though, this open shows just how much fun weaving a tapestry between our two well-known Spider Pals. Our two well-known Spider Pals is going to keep things inventive and fun. Each of the two has their own experiences, powers that set them apart, storylines, and interactions that feel uniquely carved out just for them. There's even subtle flares that give them more personality. On the other hand, they are connected by core mechanics, bound by story themes, and improved on by each other's presence. The fact that they were able to make these characters feel distinct, even though it would have been incredibly easy to make them feel very samey, but they feel unique even down to the way that they swing. And I just love those personal touches. Even their time together leads to some excellent moments. Speaking of swinging, the swinging is like, mwah. It's incredible. It's just undeniably good. If that's not your favorite part of the game, you're lying. Stop lying to me. It's the best part. You know it is. So think about what you've done. But finish this review first. Insomniac has taken the very best of the excellent swinging mechanics that it established back in 2017 and expanded it to near perfection. Faster web swinging, better control, all new traversal options like water gliding, and a super fun wingsuit which breathes new life into an already excellent traversal system. Swinging can be as realistic as you want it to be thanks to a slider that allows you to adjust how much help you're getting with the swing. Do you like going fast, or do you like having to do physics problems in real time? It's up to you. That wingsuit is no joke though. Free falling into a last second web swing, bringing you the momentum to soar into the sky, and then hitting that wingsuit is exhilarating every single time. This feature also allows traversal times to be cut down significantly, especially if you utilize the wind tunnels across the wider New York area. An area that is extremely expanded, by the way, combining the two versions of New York from the previous two games and growing that area exponentially with new locations like the excellent Coney Island section. For those of you that don't know, Spider-Man is a very strong hero. He's fast, he's quippy, and he's capable of incredible acrobatics. I'd even go so far as to say that he's probably able to do like a full backflip. I know, that's hard to believe, but trust me, I think this man can do it. So it's nice to see the return of the suitably acrobatic, powerful, and blazing fast combat from the previous games and seeing how much it's changed. Spider-Man 2 ramps up the speed in action, not only giving your enemies, of which there are often many, new abilities, but also granting Peter and Miles a range of new tricks to pull out. From iron spider legs that pulverize enemies to all new blue lightning abilities straight out of the D&D playbook. I found myself constantly experimenting with new ways to utilize these abilities in conjunction with a revamped gadget system. Little things in the combat make big changes. For instance, there is now a parry system so Spider-Man can treat the criminals of New York like the filthy casuals that they are, which of course gives you more ways to open up advantage when dealing with heavier enemies especially. Combat is thrilling from the get-go, but then you get the black suit. Ooh, the black suit.
Makes me a better Spider-Man.
Don't even get me. Okay, it feels powerful. It feels good. It feels right. The throwing bad guys around like it was nothing. Peter takes on a far more gruff and illicitly darker voice. Your finishers go from, dang, I bet that hurt, to, holy shit, is that guy dead? Big props to animators over at Insomniac for making some of the absolute cleanest takedowns and transitions of all time. Fighting the evils in New York is great, but it's not all the game brings to the table. Rivaling even the best of the MCU's fight scenes are the incredible action set pieces. A river chase that ends in you having to stop a massive tanker from demolishing a pier full of onlookers. Sudden and drastic set changes, multi-tiered fights, and truly remarkable visuals, all wrapped into one of the most exciting games of the year. Now, Spider-Man 2 is a next-gen game. It is only for the PS5, and we've heard this a lot of other games, but I think this is by far the best showcase for the PS5 from a technical standpoint. Is it the most graphically impressive? That's hard to say, but fast travel is instant. City scope doesn't come at the cost of city vibrancy, meaning hundreds of civilians and cars dot the city that never sleeps. And the swap between characters manually or for story reasons is always seamless, and again, it's instant. There are tons of moments that hit extra hard due to how technically impressive they are. Beyond the action-packed segments Spider-Man 2 revels in, there are some quieter moments, ranging from a simple tour of Peter's house to a night out on Coney Island with some friends. And most of those moments are great, except for the bikes. I hate the bikes. Don't make me mash X to move. That's just because Grand Theft Auto gets away with it doesn't mean that you have to do it. Be better than that. And I know you can be better than that, Insomniac, because beyond this, I think the most impressive thing that you've done here is improve on the minigames. Gene splicing, B-drone simulator. These make for way better minigames than Solve the Element Wavelength or whatever the hell was going on in the first game. I also love that every ride at Coney Island was fully rideable. I rode the roller coaster for so long before thinking about that I can get off at any time. It was fun though. At the heart of this game is a comic book story that takes the heavy reality of guilt, redemption, and reconciliation and paints them against the cartoonishly bombastic world of Spider-Man. There are few black and white good or bad guys. Well, except for like Mr. Negative, but he's not black and white in that kind of way. He's literally black and white sometimes. But for most people, they're far too complex to be put in one camp or the other. This look at how Spider-Man's most human element, his empathy, has impacted ex-villains and friends alike is one of my favorite explorations of the character. Peter's struggle with not only his work-life balance, but also dealing with his perceived failures all carefully lead him down a dark path that really explores what Spider-Man unchecked can be like. Meanwhile, Miles is using his time as a superhero to avoid doing his real-world work, which is a thing we can all relate to. I mean, not the superhero part, but doing something else to avoid the work you're supposed to be doing. And in the process, he misses out on key moments with his friends. There's so much personality and excellently delivered storytelling going on at all moments in this game. Little touches like being able to come across the other Spider-Man while out fighting crime and the subtle but distinct ways Peter and Miles interact differently with shared missions. I loved every second of it. Insomniac has done the impossible. 3 games, each better than the last, all coming together to fulfill the superhero power fantasy in an electrifying way. Snappy, responsive controls make the combat and traversal a treat. Voice acting and writing are on point, and most importantly than anything else, for this game in particular, they made the Mary Jane sections actually kind of fun. She's a little overpowered, honestly, but it turned the stealth sections into something I actually kind of enjoyed. And that is the thing that sets Spider-Man 2 apart from every other game this year for me. I don't think I've had fun the entire way through a video game in 2023 until now. I can't give Insomniac Games enough credit here. They have quickly risen to become one of the best in the business. I give Marvel's Spider-Man 2 a 10, going on to further prove Insomniac does not miss. With a lofty setup, I for one can't wait to see where our Spider Pals go next. For Hardwired, I'm Andrew Hamilton.